everybody! So today I had the chance to see the film Miracles from Heaven, and this is a faith-based film starring Jennifer Garner, and it is directed by Patricia Riggan. And I have been a supporter of faith-based films. I think the genre has a lot of problems, but I have seen improvement, and I really liked the recent Risen. I thought The Woodlawn had some good things about it. I loved Freetown last year, so they are kind of improving, I feel like, bit by bit, and I am excited to say that this film, I think, is another good example of that improvement. And I know it has 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I think it was really good. I really liked it, so whatever. So let's talk about the movie. So it's based on a true story about the Beam family. They have a daughter named Anna. They have 3 daughters, but one of their daughters, their middle daughter, I think it is, named Anna, she develops a gastrointestinal disease that is unique, and it's a problem where basically your intestines become paralyzed and it can no longer digest the food, and it can be life-threatening. And you see this family as they go through doctor after doctor after doctor after doctor. They live in Texas. They finally find a doctor in Boston that they have to go to every 6 weeks for. Anyways, this long, stressful, horrible thing, and as they go through this situation, their faith is greatly tested. And then, if you've watched the trailer, they kind of give away the big miracle. Something happens that helps her to heal. So it's kind of has both sides of the trials of faith. The doubting your faith because you're going through this horrible trial, and then also sort of the faith of a miracle and what you kind of understanding that. I think the strengths of this movie is that it avoids a lot of pratfalls and pitfalls of typical faith-based films. There were a lot of moments when I think this movie could have been way more preachy, but it really just sort of told a story of this family who happened to have faith. There were so many times when it could have been way more dogmatic. For instance, I really liked a scene where, a lot of Christian films have the scene with the atheist who is evil and horrible, and they kind of learn their lesson. And in this case, it was handled so much better because, so there's a scene where she's at the hospital in Boston with another little girl who has cancer. So Anna is telling her about her faith, and she gives Haley, the little girl, she gives her cross necklace. And the father of Haley brings the Jennifer Garner character out into the hallway, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be it. This is going to be the really preachy section. And he says, I just don't want her to, we just don't believe that, and we don't want her to, kind of get this false hope and whatever, and I hope you can understand that. And I just thought it was so refreshing that her response was, I understand more than you know. They make the bold choice that some of the Christians in this film are the judgmental ones, it's actually some of the atheists that are more accepting, versus the Christians who are saying, oh, well, she doesn't have enough faith, she doesn't believe enough, she even blaming the little girl for her lack of healing, which is just crazy. But I thought that was kind of ballsy to make the Christians the bad guy, even to a certain extent. And then there was another really great scene where after the miracle happens, where Anna is talking and she's explaining what had happened, and she says, and Jennifer Garner says, nobody will believe you. And she says, that's okay. They'll get there when they get there. And I thought that was such a refreshing message for a Christian film, that's okay, we love you. You'll get there when you get there. We accept you for who you are and where you're at in life. That was great, I thought. And so it's definitely a tearjerker. I cried. I cried a lot in it. It definitely pulled at the heartstrings. I think if you've had anybody in your life that has dealt with that kind of chronic illness, it's so stressful. It's so hard. And I thought they captured it pretty well. And I really like Queen Latifah in it. She plays the lady in Boston who becomes their friend. And I liked the message as opposed to War Room, which everything was these big speeches and big moments and everything like that. And people are making proclamations and everything. This was so much more subtle. Like, at the end of the movie, it was all about just sort of listening to small promptings. Like when they walk into the restaurant that Queen Latifah works in, she gets this prompting that she needs to take the next day off. So she tells her boss, "You need to take the next day off." And they show all these sort of little miracles that kind of made this big miracle a possibility. I liked that. I thought that was really cool. So those are all really good things about it. I think Jennifer Garner is excellent. I think the whole rest of the cast is really good. I think if I was going to say a downside is that the getting healthcare issues and all of that and trying to figure out where the diagnosis is, which is most of the movie, is so stressful. It like did start to make me feel a little bit anxious, in certain points. But that's the story, so what are you gonna do? Of course, it's like somewhat predictable. We all kind of know what's gonna happen, and the trailer did give away way too much. I think they didn't need to, and I think the title is kind of bland, Miracles from Heaven. I think they could have been a little bit more clever, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really solid movie. I had good performances. I thought it was pretty subtle for a Christian-based film. It didn't have that atheist shaming, and I was moved by the story. I thought it had a nice message about big miracles and small miracles. And I think for this one, even if you aren't Christian, I actually think there's something here. Like if you can accept the fact that, okay, this is the way they process things, that's okay. But we all have to sort of accept whether we believe in Jesus or not. We all have to accept that things happen that we can't understand. And so I feel like if you can just sort of look at it from that perspective of like, here's something that happened that we can't understand, and here's how one family dealt with it. And I feel like there's nothing in here that will be sort of overly preachy, in my opinion. But yeah, so let me know what you think. There's also no like big unity moment like they had at the end of War Room. I thought it was just an excellent film. And so I definitely recommend it. If you can get out, go see it. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you later. Bye.